So I guess we're gonna it's story time. So I guess I should tell you guys how I lost my tooth. As you can tell, it's my middle tooth that is missing. And if you're wondering what is a middle tooth, that's a very good question. It's a valid question. That's part of why it's not there. You know, to be honest with you, I don't know if anybody cares. I don't know if anybody's actually really curious, but I'm just so bugged by it. And when I go back and I like edit my videos and I look at it, I'm just like, man, people are just gonna think that that's who I am. Like, that's just gonna be my trademark. I'm gonna be the fucking missing middle tooth guy. I'm like, oh shit. I should probably tell you guys that this is temporary and ridiculous. I just kind of accepted it one day. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna be the missing fucking middle tooth guy. Come at me. And I hate it. I hate it looking at it. I hate fucking just... every fucking day I think, oh, this crack in my tooth has gotten really big. Oh, yeah, never mind, my tooth is gone. I remember now. But you know how it happened? I'll tell you how it happened. It all started in a galaxy far, far away. Earth C-136. Tacoma, Washington. No, so, I don't even know how the fuck it happened. It is beyond me. Not really. It's just, to be honest, it's some straight up lemony snicket type shit. Because it was just a series of unfortunate events. And I really don't know what to blame it on, mostly. And I would just say that it's just a series of things. But maybe that's why this video might even help some people, because it's possible for a tooth to just fall out of your face. I didn't know that was possible. But it happened to me. And I was like, bro, what? I was like, bro, are you fucking me in the dick? I was like, well, that's a joke, right? I've like had dreams of like my teeth falling out. So that when it happens in real life, you're just like, oh, that didn't happen. I'm just gonna wake up. And then I didn't. But no, so I guess what happened is I'll start from the very beginning. My wisdom teeth started growing in. So my wisdom teeth started growing in once upon a time ago. And it starts pushing my teeth. You see this tooth? Fucking fucking gross ass fucking shit. I'm actually getting these teeth all taken out, and I'm getting dentures because that's how unhealthy and gross I am. But so yeah, I'll tell you the story. So my wisdom teeth start growing in, and the first thing I noticed was it pushed this tooth out of place, totally, right? And so that's why it started like rotting, because the gum is gone because that tooth pushed out of place, right? But what also happened is it shifted my teeth so much that I have a middle tooth. All of my teeth shifted so much that, you know, you're supposed to have two bottom teeth that are like your top teeth, except for all my teeth shifted this way so much, right? And what happens when your teeth shift like that is it starts causing gum recession, kind of like on here. My gum is away from that tooth because it got pushed out of line. I fucking thought I was gonna lose this tooth. You know, that would have made perfect sense to me. I was like, I've been waiting for this tooth to fall out because it's being pushed out, and it's just being pushed, and every day it's just like sticking out, and it's this weird snaggle tooth, and the gums are like totally gone. And I've been waiting for this fucker to fall out, and then this one just boinks out. I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, okay, cool, yeah. So that happened. But no, yeah. So what happened is, yeah, so my teeth got pushed out of line. And one day when I was eating, I bit my tooth. Like my jaw, like, or something moved, and I bit my tooth. Like, let's say these are my teeth. I was eating and I went beep, and it pushed this tooth forward, and it knocked my tooth loose. And I was like eating, and I was like, what the fuck? And so my fucking front tooth was like loose because I bit it super hard and it like knocked it out of place and it had gum recession starting. So it didn't have much really holding it in there, I realized when I bit the fuck out of it. And so I Googled, like, do loose teeth, like, go back to normal? And they say, Google said, yeah, it'll go back to normal, just, you know. And to be honest, yeah, it pretty much went back to normal. But then every now and again, I would eat, and I would bite it, and it would knock it out of place. And I'd be like, what the fuck? And it was super stupid. And I think that's because of my wisdom teeth. I mean, that's got to be the only thing, right? And so, yeah, I would bite down on it, and right when it would start to firm up, I'd be eating something, and I'd bite down on it, and I'd knock it out of place, and I'd be like, what the fuck? And so I was kind of just battling with it for, like, a couple weeks. Like, it was really loose. But then it would, like, tighten up, and I would, like, try to avoid fucking with it. And, like, the gums would kind of tighten up. But then one week or whatever, like, eventually it just kind of got, like, super loose. And it was, like, concerning. I was like, fuck. Like, it's not, like, tightening back up. I noticed that one night, that it wasn't tightening back up. And then I also, not only did it feel loose, I felt like something was happening here. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt like air or something. Or like an, I want to say like pressure, but like an absence of pressure. It was weird. I did not think that I was going to lose my tooth. I really did not think that it would fall out like that. I thought that this one would fall out, if anything. Because the gum is fucking gone. It's straight up gone. I didn't realize how much gum was gone from right here, but so I guess the moral of the story is it was loose, and I was just trying to kind of fucking not eat shit to fuck with it and just kind of like let it be. But I knew that I gotta get my wisdom teeth taken out or I'm gonna keep biting down on it. And so I was kind of like, fuck. I was like, I keep biting this shit, so maybe I just get, stick to liquid food until I get my wisdom teeth taken out. But then so one night I was eating a bowl of cereal, and my tooth falls out of my face. Just, like, that's literally how it happened. Like, it was loose, and it would tighten back up, and it was loose. And I was kind of concerned about it, but I wasn't, like, really concerned about it. And then one day I'm eating a bowl of cereal, and the motherfucker falls on my face. I thought I was fucking hallucinating. I was like... And, I always thought that if one of these teeth ever... I always thought that if my teeth ever came out that there'd be a lot of blood and I'd be scared and I'd like have to go to the hospital. That was one of my fears. Like, if this one ever came out, I always kind of assumed that there'd be like blood. Because I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to go to the hospital or deal with anything. But if my tooth falls out and I'm bleeding a bunch, I'd kind of feel like pressured that I'd have to go in, But, fucking weird ass fucking shit. When this fell out of my face, no blood. Nothing. It just was like boop. And I was like... I was like, and it like just fell on the floor. And I was like, you've got to be fucking, what? I was like so confused. I was just, and the worst thing about it is it was 4 a.m. I had just got back from work. I'm like a closing manager at my store. I'd gotten back, it was 4 a.m. All I wanted to do was eat some cereal and go to sleep. That's literally all I wanted to do. And my tooth just fell out of my face. And it sends me into this fucking panic attack, fucking crazy fucking just like panic, like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? Like, do I have to go to the hospital, like, right now? And I was super fucking sketched out and like, I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital. But there was no blood. It just popped out. And so I like picked it up off the ground. And I just like put it in this like little thingy, like a little shot glass. And I was like, oh my fucking god. And like I looked at this, and I was not okay with it at all. Now I'm sort of used to it, I guess. But I looked at this and I was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, what the actual shit? Like, I haven't gone to the doctor or the dentist like really in a long time. But I immediately made an emergency dentist appointment. And so yeah, I've gone to the dentist so many times since then, and I'm getting dentures, and it's a whole thing. But so, and that's just one layer of it. Because to be honest, another big determining factor, there's 2 other big determining factors. One, I was not good about brushing my teeth at all for a long time. I was really just anti-hygiene it up. I was really not like taking care of myself. Like, I was super depressed. I wasn't brushing my teeth for a long time. It's actually super gross. So yeah, that definitely contributed to it. But on top of that, Something that I've had to change since this happened. This like changed so much shit for me. I had to like reevaluate everything. But something that I realized is that I eat way too much fucking sugar, which I kind of knew that to begin with. Cause I eat I drink a milkshake like every day. That used to be my thing. Like I would like drink a milkshake like every night. But I would like eat candy. I would drink milkshakes. And the fucking one thing that fucked me over that I didn't know, I would drink Arizona green tea, like all the time. And I thought that it was closer to water than it was to like soda. But after like looking up the shit and like looking at the back of it, it's closer to a Coke than it is to anything. Those Arizona green teas have so much fucking sugar in them, let alone the sweet teas. I would drink like 2 or 3 of those green teas thinking that, oh, I'm getting my hydration in. Oh, green tea and honey. Oh, this is good for me. And then I would drink like sweet tea, and then I would drink soda, and then I'd eat candy, and then I'd drink a milkshake. And like, as soon as I started making a decent amount of money, it was not good for me because I was just eating whatever the fuck I wanted. For the first time ever, I could like afford anything, so I was like, I'm gonna have a milkshake. And I mean, like, it's not like I only ate, like, fucking shit like that, but I overdid it because I like candy and ice cream and shit, and I'm a little bitch like that, But so I fucked myself up super quick because I didn't realize I was dealing with a lot of fucking sugar. And that is way too much sugar to be dealing with when you're not brushing your teeth. It gave me periodontal disease, which is not really curable. My teeth are slowly falling out of my face. You see this? You see this black now? Here, this one. So it's like there's blackness eating away at my teeth. I got this side fixed not that long ago. So you see this? And this. It was like that over here, but I got it fixed. Thank the Lord. I'm gonna get the opposite angle of the camera is really fucking with me. But yeah, I'm getting that fixed next week. But yeah, so I gave myself periodontal disease from fucking eating ice cream for dinner every night and just falling asleep without brushing my teeth and then waking up and eating cereal and just going hard in the paint and then not brushing my teeth the whole day and then just having a milkshake for dinner again and then not brushing my teeth and going to sleep. And I just I like aged my mouth so fucking much by doing that. I didn't realize how bad that was for you. But I'm 28 years old and my fucking teeth are legitimately falling out. I have to get all these removed. I have to get all those front teeth taken out. And I have to get all these ones saved. I had to get my whole mouth deep cleaned. I have to get like 70 fucking fillings. Get my wisdom teeth taken out. Get my broken teeth taken out. There's a lot going on in there. But yeah, so that whole series of unfortunate events led to my tooth falling out, which was fucking a surprise to me. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, right when you think that you can't fucking be surprised by anything anymore. It's like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, fuck me. But, yeah. You know, I'll put another thing in here for this. If anybody watching this is afraid of the dentist, do not be afraid of the dentist. Because I was straight up afraid of everything. I mean, I still am afraid of everything. But I was like, super afraid of the dentist. I had a bad experience as a kid, this whole thing. And I avoided the dentist on purpose for a long time. I would go in and get checkups. They'd be like, oh, you need 70 fucking fillings and 2 teeth pulled. I'd be like, that's awesome. I'm never going to come back here again. And I straight up avoided that shit. And when this fell out, I was like, I thought about blowing my head off. I was like, I really don't want to have to fucking deal with dentists. I'd just rather fucking blow my fucking face off. But I'm glad I didn't because I got hooked up with a really good dentist. And I kind of just told myself that I had to do it, and I kind of eased myself into it. And it's way easier than I thought it would be. It's not a stressful thing, really. As long as you get a good dentist, you know. The only part that sucked, I mean, I don't know if getting these taken out are just going to suck. They might suck. But the only part that really sucks is the shots. And the shots on the top don't actually even hurt. It's when they like shoot in the bottom that actually kind of bugs me. And I'd say the worst part of it all is, for me, is like the numbness. Like is an uncomfortable feeling for me. Like when I get out of the chair and my nose and my eye and my face is numb and I'm like biting my cheek and I'm drooling. Like I don't like that. Like that's actually worse than the pain. There's no real pain involved. So if you're afraid of the dentist, you should not be, because there's like so many medical advancements. Think of it this way. You're paying the dentist. Like I'm lucky that I can afford this stuff. And that's something that I had to tell myself, is that since I can afford this, I'm lucky, and it's a luxury. And since I live in a time and place where I have this miracle technology that can actually fix my shit, and it's not even a trial and effort thing. It's like they know exactly what they're doing. They do it all the time. It's a science. It's like, it's everyday shit for them. They're not gonna fuck it up. Like nothing bad is gonna happen. Like you're just being paranoid. And so, but yeah, it was kind of, yeah, I've been doing some growing up. But yeah, the dentist is not bad. If you're afraid of it, that's understandable, because I was. But the anticipation is what's worse. Once you get, the way that I thought about it is I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in there, and I'm just gonna chill until I'm in pain, and then I'll stop them. You know, just deal with it moment to moment. And then when you realize that moment of pain never comes, then you get through it. And it's really weird. I was kind of just like, okay, I'll let them do their thing, and as soon as I'm starting to hurt, I'm going to stop them, or I'm going to say something, or I'm going to do something. But that moment never came. You know, I just got my blanket. I got my little stress ball. And it actually wasn't bad at all. I'm just a total bitch. I mean, you know, I'm a literal fucking ball sack. And it's just, like, I'm a fragile little fucking dangling creation. But yeah, no, the anxiety about it is the worst part. Getting up early and then having to deal with numbness, that's the worst part of it. And that's nothing even to be afraid of. It's just stuff to be annoyed by. So there is no real fear behind the dentist. And when people are afraid of the drills, think about this. This is actually interesting. You shouldn't be afraid of the drill, because when you hear that sound, you should actually feel relieved, because that means that they have really good tools that they're using. And that spinning sound that you hear is a precision little neek. They're like, they got some high-tech, fancy-ass crackhead little shit, you know what I mean? And you're lucky that they have that, and that it's an option to do that. And they're using that spinny, stupid little tool because that's the fucking way to do it. That's the fucking best way, and that's awesome that somebody invented that. And it's amazing. It just sounds like shit, but you know, put some headphones in. Even though that doesn't even really drown it out, because you like hear it through your head. But yeah, you just tell yourself that sound is just technology. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, he was like, when I got the deep cleaning, like, some of it started to hurt because I had an infection back here. And he's like, I can give you more numbing. And I was like, no, just go for it. And see, that's another weird thing. See, I was able to tough it out. And I'm a total fucking vagina. No, vagina's a strong and durable. I'm a ball sack. But no, yeah. Yeah, dentists aren't anything to trip about. And I honestly mean that. It's like, I put it off for most of my life, and now I'm wishing that I hadn't. You should start off young and try to get used to it. But yeah, it's just like, you know. Yeah, they got all this technology. They got all this fucking crazy stuff. Like, it's their job to, like, go in your mouth. They're not trying to piss you off. They don't want to make it a bad experience. They want your business, and it's something that you have to pay for. It's a luxury. It's something that you actually have to, like I had to pay $1,000 to get these fucking teeth fixed. And so it's like, when you think of it like that, it's not as scary. And yeah, I'd say the worst part about going to the dentist with my weekly things that I got going on now is just the sucky part's just kind of getting up early. And just having to go out of my way to do that. But yeah, it's not really anything scary. But yeah, I thought that I should tell people that. I read a lot of stuff before I went in for my appointments. I like read and looked up so much stuff on YouTube, trying to like relieve dental anxiety. And there's so many mixed reviews online. And it pretty much just boils down to the fact that, you know, everybody's different. Some people are like, oh, the dentist is so painful every time. And then some people are like, oh, it's not bad at all. And then so that's just like, when people get tattoos, some people are like, oh yeah, it sucked, but I got through it. And then some people are like, oh, it didn't hurt at all. It's the same amount of pain, but it's being received differently. But yeah, so yeah, okay, so yeah, what that boils down to is so yeah, that didn't really help me come to any conclusion about whether it was going to be good or bad. I was like, oh, well, I'm getting mixed reviews, so I guess it's just going to be up to however tough I am, because, everybody's different. But with that being said, I am still, like, kind of a bitch, and I'm, like, afraid of anything. Like, I hate getting my blood drawn, but I would much rather go to the dentist and fucking sit through all these fillings and all that than get my blood drawn. The fillings and all the dentist stuff is like so easy. It's like actually so good. They make it so enjoyable for you. At least my dentist. Like if you get a good dentist, like it's actually a nice little experience. I'm getting to know those motherfuckers because I got so much work I need to be done. But yeah. If anybody's afraid of the dentist, you definitely shouldn't be. And the sooner you go, the better, because your teeth can randomly just fall out of your face. So yeah. But yeah. Something I didn't say about my fucking tooth. So, I was freaking out when it fell out, right? And I didn't know what the fuck to do. And so, and I didn't even want to Google what to do. Because I was pretty sure it was going to be like, dude, go to the hospital. Like, are you an idiot? You got to go to the fucking emergency. And I didn't want to do that because it was 4 in the morning, remember? Sorry, yeah, just now getting back to my fucking story. But yeah, it was like 4 in the morning. I didn't want to do anything but go to sleep, and my tooth fell out, so I was like, what the fuck? And I was not going to put it back in my face. That was not my first idea at all. Especially since it fell on the ground. And I was not even going to Google anything, because I was going to I don't even want to know. I'm just going to rage quit life. I'm just going to sit here pissed off and stare at the wall forever. I'm done. I was just like, I'm done. I'm tapped out. I'm never going to do anything ever again. Like, I just had a panic attack for like 20 minutes. Which actually might have fucked. I might have actually been able to save this tooth if I actually didn't do what I just said. Because when I finally got up the nerve to Google some shit, I was like, okay, I can't go to sleep. I got to figure this out. I got to just fucking grow up for a second. If you have to go to the hospital, we should just fucking do it. It's going to suck. But just get on Google and see what happens. And so I Googled what the fuck to do if your tooth falls out. And I got so many mixed reviews. Like, oh, it's a medical emergency. Go to the hospital immediately. And I was like, great. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Fuck. And then, of course, confirmation bias. You find other articles that say things like, put the tooth in milk, put your saliva on it, and shove it back in. And it's funny because those are two different articles. One saying that it's a medical emergency. One saying, shove it back in. It's not that big of a deal. And both of them are actually correct. Isn't that funny? And it's funny because when my tooth fell out, I was not going to put it back in at all. But when I started Googling, I started thinking that maybe it would be a better idea to put it back in because I didn't want there to be a gap. I didn't know if my teeth would shift in. I didn't know if it would be open to infection. So I was kind of weighing putting it back in, but I didn't know if that would even work. So I started Googling around, and I found this documentary that I watched that made me feel so much better. I found a documentary of this British chick that's been gluing her teeth in for 20 years. All of her teeth have fallen out or whatever, and I don't know if all of them did, but a lot of them fell out, and she super glued them back in. And so I learned that night, tooth in hand, watching that documentary, I realized that you could just super glue this back in your face and keep living your life. Like, you literally can. And it's super funny because I, got over my fear of the dentist, and I was just like, oh, I'm going to deal with this. But in all reality, I could have just glued it back into my face and lived my life. Because fucking this British bitch did that. And you know what happened to her? Nothing. Fucking nothing. It's like, no, she didn't get any weird infection. Like, literally, she glued her teeth back in. And then the fucking dentist, eventually, 20 years later, looked at it, and they're like, oh my god, what the fuck? But then all they did is they took them out, like they would take any other teeth out, and they just gave her dentures. Boom, she has brand new teeth. It didn't, rot her jaw, it didn't fuck her face up. So that showed me right then and there that you could just glue your fucking tooth back in. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because the first thing I think when my tooth falls out, I was like, am I gonna die? I was like, am I gonna die? I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, oh, I don't even know what that means. I was like, oh, what the fuck is happening to me? I was like freaking out. But it's so funny because, but yeah, so then I watched that documentary. And in that documentary, it shows like this thing that in England, there's such bad tooth problems and stuff that they have like little kid like posters like that say if you ever lose a tooth, like lick it and stick it. Like just put your saliva back on it, clean it off, and put it back in. Like it happens so often over there that they just know to do that, and that's just a thing that you do. And it's funny because they say that if you do that and if you just put it back in within a timely fashion, that it'll be okay. And if I didn't wait so long, and if I didn't like try to scrape it off, because I later learned that you're not supposed to try to scrape all the calcium off. I tried to clean the fuck out of the tooth. I tried to, cause yeah, it fell on the floor, so I like put it in fucking like scalding ass water. I fucking like toothbrushed it off. Like I just tried to make sure it was clean as fuck. And then I tried to take some of the tartar and stuff off. But then, after I did that, I realized they say that you can damage the repairing cells to where it won't go back in if you scrape the roots off. And I was like, oh, I fucked myself over. So A of all, I waited too long to put it back in because I was fumbling around like an idiot having a fucking stroke about it. Like, for like 30 minutes. But yeah, so I waited too long and I cleaned it off wrong. Because they say you're not supposed to put it in really hot water, and they say you're not supposed to scrape the stuff off. And I did both of those, and so I was like, fuck. But you know the hilarious part about that is when I finally watched that documentary and I had all that knowledge, I was like, I had the idea, I'm going to put my tooth back in to take a picture one last time. And then I'm going to put my mask on, and I'm never going to show my face to society ever again. I was so butthurt. I was super fucking butthurt about it. And I still am. But it's funny because, yeah, that was actually my plan. I was like, I'm going to just put this back in, and I'm going to take a picture, because I know I can get it in just enough to, like, smile and take a picture. And I'll just get one last picture, and I'll take it, and then I'll take the tooth out, and I'll just accept it. But what happened when I put it in, the shit just goes click. And it literally just fucking clicked back into place. Like I'm fucking tapping on the side of my house. There's literally like a bird trying to eat through my wall right now or something. It's like, bro, get your shit together. Ruined my little speech. But, sorry about that. It's one of the bad things about doing it live. Or doing it uncut. But yeah, so anyways. Whatever the fuck I was even talking about. These goddamn birds! Fucked it all up. But no, yeah, oh yeah, it just clicked back in place, and I was like, what? I was like, that literally worked out like 110% better than I thought it would. So I just kept it the fuck in.
So I have a new party trick, and it's not good. Yeah, it's not good at all. I wish I was to the point where I could just take it in and out with my tongue while talking. But I'm not that talented yet. And it still sucks, and I'm nervous about even touching it or looking at it. But so there's that.
After I realized that it just like clicked back in place so well, I was like, okay. I was like, so, okay, cool. So I just, and I kind of thought that, you know, when I got all the info from the documentary, it kind of gave me some faith that it might actually, since it went in so well, I was like, oh, my tooth's good. I'm just going to click it back in, and it'll just, you know, like I was, you know, I thought it might work. But then when I realized that I scraped the shit off, I thought that it might or might not work. But then it started to take. I put the... So my tooth falls out. Eventually that night, I plop the fucker back in, and I go to sleep. And I wake up the next morning, and I just pretended that never happened. I made an emergency dentist appointment, but I'm just rocking this tooth, like this non-attached tooth. I had it in my face for like 2 weeks. It worked out way better than I thought it would. And it's funny, because when I went to the dentist, I was just like... I was able to give it to her, and she's like, "What the fuck?" She probably didn't say that, but that's pretty much what she said. She said, "In 15 years of dentistry, I've seen people pull a lot of shit out of their mouth, but I've never seen somebody take their own tooth out and then put it back in." And I was like, "Thank you. You won't see it again either, bitch." No, I'm one of a kind. No, I think that's one of the things I'm one of a kind on, at least in this town. I did read a YouTube comment on a video when I was looking for my relief for dentistry. I saw a comment that was like literally me. Somebody put a comment on there saying, 5 years ago, my tooth just fell out while I was eating cereal, and I put it back in and ignored it. And then like a few years later, I woke up and there was a bunch of blood in my bed. And I was like, dude, that dude's on my level, though. I was like, I'm so glad that's happened to somebody else. Except for I didn't wait. Like, I immediately went to go do something about it. but yeah. So yeah, teeth are fucking strange, bro. Bodies are weird. That's what I told the dentist too. When she's like, "How does that fit back in?" I was like, "Bro, your guess is as good as mine." Like, I was not going to put it back in, but it just fits back in there. It like goes in a little slot, and my teeth like just hold it in, and it just clicked back in. And I just looked at her. I was like, "Dude, bodies are weird, dude." And it's true, because like, yeah, the all the people were like, "Hey, you should probably take that out of your face," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah." But then when I got to the good dentist, she's like, it's not going to do anything good or bad. I mean, you can rock it if you want to. It's just kind of weird. And I was like, cool, that's exactly what I want to hear. I'm going to rock it, and I'm going to be weird about it. Because I didn't want to be like this. But you know how this happened? I could still have that tooth all the way up until my surgery, probably. But you know what happened? I was getting too comfortable taking it in and out. That's what happened. I kind of reached this point where I knew that it wasn't going to, like, take back. And then I just kind of had to hold it in, and it still was working. But I was getting too comfortable taking it in and out. And I would take it out to eat. Because that was my main thing, is that, you know, the biting of my jaw out of line, I would knock it out of place. So I was getting used to taking it out when I ate. And it was so it was amazing. It was so relieving to be able to fucking eat and not worry about this tooth. And like not worry about like the pain and all the uncomfortable and all the weirdness. So I just started eating all the time without it in. And one day I had it out for too long, and I went to go put it in one day, and it just fucking felt weird. Like it probably would have gone back in, but I'd probably have to kind of push it in. And it just, I don't know, something about it got weird. And it didn't feel right, so I kept it out. You're probably supposed to like keep it in milk or something. They say you keep it in milk or something, or like solution of something. But when I was at work, I took it out and I had it out like all day, and it was just sitting there drying up. And when I went to go put it back in, it's like trying to shove a rock into my face. I was like, I ruined this, didn't I? So that's why I'm like this now. But yeah, I could have super glued that tooth back in and lived my life for 20 years and then gotten it dealt with in 20 years. And it wouldn't have even done anything. That's what that documentary taught me. Is that it's not even that crucial like that. Like, I was freaking out. I thought that I was, like, possibly going to, like, die of some infection because of my fucking gaping hole in my face. Little did I know that I didn't know shit. I didn't know that I didn't know. But no, yeah. So there's that story. Yeah, teeth shit are weird. But I should have new teeth here in a bit. And I'm going to quit vaping when I get my new teeth. That's my cutoff point. So I'm gonna tell myself, start taking care of myself when I get my new teeth. I'm doing that whole rot 'em while you got 'em situation. Not really. I don't want to fuck up my top teeth, so I've been eating like not that much sugar. I've been eating so healthy it sucks. I'm such a bitch, and I just want pie. I just want pie and candy and ice cream. And I'm so dumb. But But yes, that's my plan. And that's my story. So, you know, tales from the fucking trap. Anyways, something to think about, you know? Or not, you know? Fucking deuces, bro.